Made it to beautiful Monument Valley. Got ourselves a spot here at one of the few RV parks in the area, Goulding's. Very nice resort. They got hotel, condos, duplexes, cabins, and full hookup RV sites, which is great because we ran out of water yesterday, so definitely needed some. Freaking gorgeous here though. We got a perfectly clear day. Drive in here is just absolutely mind-blowing. Feels like we've stepped back in time to the old west. Seriously, like being on a movie set here. It's just so fascinating everywhere you look. Well, most of us were fascinated. But these views from our site are really tough to top. All my life I've wanted to stay here and sleep next to these giant behemoths. Now we get the chance to. And to top it off, Goulding's has their own arch over here. Goulding's Arch. And that is going to be our first stop. Pretty sure we're going the right way, but God, even if we're not, I'm not too mad at it. Alright, I think we're getting close now. Hup. Made it to the Goulding's Arch, named after the resort at which we're staying. Pretty damn big one. Maybe a 10-minute hike from our campsite. We're at the far other end, actually, so pretty darn short hike to get to this. That's a beauty. That's funny. Nice little shaded corner. Probably hard to tell from here, but that is the arch kind of poking through in there. And it's actually surprisingly climbable. Definitely no mountain climber, but this is kind of just a gentle slope to walk up there and take a few fun photos. Yeah, Goulding's Arch. Well worth the little 10-minute hike. This was a good one. Like I said, just pretty much right by the RV resort. Definitely a must-do hike if you're ever going to stay at Goulding's, which I'd recommend, because there aren't too many places to stay legitimately here. There are places to boondock, and we'll get into more of that here pretty soon. You can see the mittens from here. Famous mittens of Monument Valley. Look like little gloves pointing up to the sky. Now we're going to make the short walk back to camp, stopping, of course, to enjoy the beautiful views along the way. And next we're going to go check out the museum here at Goulding's. Goulding's moved here in 1924, just over 100 years ago. And in 1928 they built a trading post. They traded with the local Navajo for many years. In fact, that trading post still exists today. It is part of the museum here. Has a bunch of cool vintage stuff, a lot of the products they might have sold. Of course, this area is also famous as a filming location, even dating all the way back to the 1930s. They've got a little museum dedicated to that as well. Yeah, just every single movie that's ever been filmed here.
Yeah.
Oh, here's where we get to some that I know. Back to the Future 3.
Wow.
Yeah, look at the shots. That's crazy. My favorite Monument Valley movie. And upstairs they've got the living quarters where the Goulding family lived. Cool, you can still check this out today. See how this family lived 100 years ago. Old tiny phone. Let's go to the stove. It's almost hard to imagine people living here in a time before air conditioning. That must have been pretty brutal in summer. And besides the Gouldings, John Wayne also stayed here when he was recording some of his famous movies. They've still got the cabin here preserved today that he stayed in. God, this is cool, the roof and stuff.
Yeah.
Super old-timey looking. John Wayne cutout. Back at camp now. Made it in time for sunset. Really beautiful time here. The way the light hits certain rocks, some cascaded in the light, other ones in shadows. Really beautiful here. Gotta be best time of the day here. Gonna enjoy our evening here with our full RV hookups. Nice to have out here. This is not our last night in Monument Valley. Still got more planned tomorrow. A lot more to see. Like the famous Mexican hat. believe they call that a sombrero south of the border, but here we call it Mexican hat. It's actually a town named for it right in this area. Anyway, just kind of stopped for a quick video. Next place we're heading to is called Forrest Gump Hill. That's right, it is named after the movie. This is where Forrest Gump ended his cross-country run, right here on this hill that I braved in the summer heat. And on the way up, we actually stopped down at the southern end here at some of those buttes you see in the background of Forrest Gump Hill. Definitely a scenic area and one of my absolute favorite movies. So, of course, we had to stop here with all the other tourists, dodging the traffic. Lacey wasn't really feeling it so much, and I'm not sure Mom knew where we were at. But it's still a cool place to stop. Definitely makes for some good photos. Very iconic scene in movie history. Anyway, it's time to head to camp number 2. This is the road up to Valley of the Gods. A little concerned about this dirt road. We looked it up on the map, but it was actually a pretty gentle one, so much so that the hound fell right asleep. Oh, it worked. And bad. Made it to Valley of the Gods. Free BLM camping, just north kind of Monument Valley. And as cool as Goulding was, and nice as it was to have full RV hookups, this is kind of what we all wanted when we thought of camping in Monument Valley. Look at this. Baby, where you going? Oh, she taking a dumper. First one, Monument Valley. Maybe we'll fill this up at some point. All these buttes make for such a uniquely beautiful backdrop. There's really not too many places in the world like this. Great place to break out a nature scope if you've got one. Aw, pup is sleeping. Yeah, it's crazy seeing these things up close. Sometimes you can see birds land on them to give them scale. But yeah, they're just so far away to the eye. Almost chow time. Hound waiting patiently. Almost.
Shows a little preference to the pasta.
Call that a clean plate. Sun is starting to drop. I swear every hour or so you could just kind of look at the landscape and it's just completely changed what it looks like. The shadows, the lighting, the colors. Everything changes. So cool to pass a full day here and watch it all pass before you.
Tony said about 50 or a little more miles to those. I mean, it looks far.
Yeah, just going off of Google Maps, kind of. Yeah, trying to figure out how far some of these real distant vistas are. There's so many layers to it when you look closely. You can see the sun bouncing off some of them. What I can tell on the map, those are at least 50 miles away. You can really see far from up here. We're on kind of a mesa. Yeah, just look at some of these sunset colors right now. Just beautiful. Did you wake up?
Almost. Where are we?
She does look out of it.
Come on, Bottoms.
Thirsty.
You gotta climb out. Yeah, my puppy. There's the baby. I know. I know. Yeah, the mornings here aren't bad either. Good morning from Monument. Oh, good baby. Well, better than in the RV, I suppose. Okay, well, it's time to get on the road. Head out of Monument Valley, but before we leave, there is one more stop. We're here at the Sand Island Petroglyphs. The sandstone wall here was believed to have been carved between 300 and 3,000 years ago. A lot of these are very old. They've got it fenced off to some degree now, so people don't vandalize it anymore. However, there is plenty of evidence of vandalism, including some asshole in 1963. It's pretty cool to imagine that we're in a spot where potentially thousands of years ago, ancient peoples would have gathered, pitched their fire, told their stories, some of them drawn their artwork into the walls. Pretty cool stop. And there's actually also a campground here. We didn't stay, but looked nice. And now we are back on the road here in small town America, southern Utah. Please subscribe to see where we're heading to next. Just getting going on this trip. Still a lot more to come. What the fuck is that? Church. Oh, it's a Mormon church is what it doesn't look like a Mormon church.
Latter-day Saints.
But it's got to be the nicest building in town. Jesus.